Be perfect, therefore, as your Heavenly Father is perfect. It's hard. It's really hard. In fact, sometimes it can feel impossible. I mean, how can we be perfect? But maybe our ideas of perfection can be different. I mean, we all have different ideas of what it means to be perfect. For some of us, it's having a certain skill, or maybe having a bigger car, fancier clothes, better friends. But what does Jesus mean to be perfect? I mean, sometimes we look at perfection as, how do other people see us with that perfection? But Jesus, though, when he talked about being perfect, a little bit before that, he said to them, love all people. Even your enemies, love your enemies, the people who don't even like you. And yet, in that act, we act as God acts. I mean, God's the only one who's perfect, but we strive for that perfect characteristic that he has. Because when Jesus looks at us, he wants other people to see that we love all people. It's hard to do, isn't it? It's hard to love people who hurt you, people who intentionally try to cause you harm. And yet Jesus says to pray for them, to pray for those who persecute you, not return their hate, not hate them back, but to love them and to pray for them. Now, Jesus also said, if you only greet your own people, that's not good enough. He wants us to greet and love all people because God is for all people. For people who hurt us and also people who are different from us. He wants you to be on his team. If you want to be perfect, you have to be on his team because your God is perfect. I remember one time I was in this basketball tournament and I was playing against this one team with this one guy. He and I were jockeying for position back and forth, back and forth. He was a lot bigger than me too. And at one point, we were so intense that we were about to go at it. We were in each other's faces. And I remember my girlfriend at the time was sitting in the stands and she thought this guy was going to kill me. After the game, we shook hands, we had a little chat, and we went on our way. And sometimes we can do that. There are other times, though, there are some people where it's hard. It would be very hard to shake hands with them at the end of a game. Maybe there's a person at school whose locker you tend to avoid because you just can't stand being around them. So how will you show love when you're at school the next day? I mean, hate can really weigh us down. It can ruin our lives. But I'm thinking, a few minutes ago when we talked about what it meant to be perfect, we all had different ideas of what that was. But I bet how you felt about it, that happiness in you was the same. And so joy can be best expressed by being perfect as our Father is in heaven. And that's by loving people all around us, not just the people who are closest to us, but all people. Imagine being perfect, the perfect life. It can be yours by loving everyone with God.